Everything that I will talk about in this video is Heidegger's theory. Some shit I say is probably more against it. The emotional thinker and rational thinker are probably different in base philosophy. I just used these concepts and wanted to think about them in a separate way. I mean, that's what philosophy is all about, but again, don't take this video as a way to think that this is what Heidegger means. You'll probably will need to watch a 2-hour video for that. Don't take this video as education on philosophy, take this video as thinking about certain topics that have to do with philosophy. And for the rest, these 3 words that you see on screen now, I don't know how to pronounce right, so I'm probably gonna say them wrong, but just so you know. It was the 26th of September 1889. A boy was born. His father worked in a Catholic church, so he tried to become a priest, but in 1911 he decided to become a philosopher instead. His career got disrupted when the First World War came along. He later got married and got back into being a teacher and teaching philosophy. People described him as a genius. He gave lessons about Aristotle, St. Paul's, and phenomenology. He even made some changes to what he thought phenomenology was. He is also known as the hidden king of philosophy. Although he started thinking a lot more like Husserl with phenomenology, he started turning more and more towards ontology. He changed the ontology way of thinking. Then he started a relationship with one of his students, Hannah Arendt or something like that. His students spreaded his ideas and he became super popular, even though he didn't publish much. When Hitler got the power, he and his wife became super Nazis and he agreed with Hitler's ideas to make a better country. But without much support, he stopped and just stayed teacher until the end of World War II. Then he changed countries a few times and traveled. The French kind of fucked him, but he had a peaceful life until the end for the rest. But now the big question, you might be wondering, who might this interesting man be? Place your bets now. Well, if you haven't already guessed, Martin Heidegger. Heidegger has a few theories I would like to discuss. I'll also enter some loose theories and some even against it, just to fill up more of a central point about this. Again, like I said, this video isn't truly about Heidegger, but it is important that you know him for this. For basic point about Heidegger, his main thing was kind of what is existence? What is it to its down core? What does existing mean? When is something existing? How do exist? Shit like that. But he also has some other theories. He said that we need to really ask the question what existence even is. What is being? If we talk completely for theory though, and not only Heidegger, let us imagine a sheep. The sheep is connected into our world just like everything else. Yet no one knows about it or knows of its existence. Then if the sheep dies, has it then truly died? What I mean with this is that I think at least that we as humans only see or agree that something exists through each other or our own experience. And this is a more emotional approach towards philosophy. A rational thinker would say that the sheep died because that is the fact. But if no one knows about it, did it then truly happen? Or better, is it then truly counting as an existence that died? So to dive more deeper into this, you might realize that it's very hard to explain this, especially trying to use Heidegger's theory, but I am trying my best. I think what Heidegger means is that everything is accepted as existing through the fact of our own thoughts and mind, also known as experience. So if we never think consciously about the sheep, did it then exist if no one knows, or at least exist through our own eyes? Now the critique for this mindset is that with existence at least, it's impossible, because some other things created that sheep and know of its existence. This theory only works if you accept the fact that humans are the only rational thinking creatures that understand existence, but that is debatable. You can use this point also to invest on something else. In common day life, we experience different objects, thoughts, and being. But after a while, we might still know they are there, but we don't consciously know it, and therefore are they truly there. If, for example, there's a plant on the side of your house, no one else knows of the plant except you. Now you wake up every day and go to work. The first time you see that plant and you think about the fact that it sits there, you might even water it. But after a while, you won't think of that plant being there anymore. After then a while, you'll forget to even water it and you don't even consciously see it. Obviously, this is theory because a normal person won't just forget to water its plant. But I think that the funny part is that when that plant dies or starts dying, you'll realize that it exists every day consciously. Because you'll see it turn gray or something, and then your mind will realize it's important and you'll think about it again. Now, this way of thinking is fucking juicy, and I want to dive into this a bit more. This is a concept of thinking that I guess you could call emotional thinking. And it's also interesting because it breaks rational thinking a lot and questions it. Humans are known to lean towards the facts because, well, they're facts. We know it is because either someone tells us or we found out. But emotional thinking thinks more about the experience, and that experience shows if it exists or not. By the way, I don't know if it's called emotional thinking. I think it is, but I'ma just call it that because I think it fits. So, sok me kok. But yeah, anyway, this obviously begs some big questions. For example, should we believe the past for this reason? And with past I mean history. Because the past, none of us have truly experienced. Now the important part with the experience is that you look from your own point because someone else's experience is not your experience. So let's think positive and hope that at least one 80-year-old is watching this video. So let's say that you are 80. That means you have experienced history since 1943. Now already this doesn't mean you have experienced big history events, because if you still weren't there, they don't count. This form of just experience as fact makes life very sussy, but also kind of small if you think about it. This shit questions everything, because for me that means that about only 3 countries exist, and even then I haven't seen the total existence of that country. So for me, there are only actually about 300 very little places that exist. Everything else doesn't exist, or at least not yet. It's not existing. Now, obviously, some doo-doo nerd emoji is gonna type, well, actually, this is really stupid because you could search the facts online. But how would you know if those facts are, well, facts? This theory talks about the fact that you are only really certain of something's existence or being if you have experienced it. And that is actually true. Although some critique makes this an annoying way of living because this means that everything proven by others is not truly proven. So, yeah. But yeah, a good argument that I always hear about science is that a bit of science you will have to believe, because you can't prove if everything that science has said is true in your lifetime. You'll have to believe that millions of facts that have been created sometimes without fact checking yourselves. And that makes science weirdly a bit of a belief in some way if you think about it in this form of emotional thinking. But yeah, I'm coursing off. The argument against this could be that knowing and believing are different. Thinking emotional means that yes, most science therefore doesn't exist because you probably haven't experienced it. But you could probably still believe it does, although I feel like that kind of defeats the whole point of emotional thinking in the first place. But even then, is that truly that bad? I mean, if I think emotional and have never really seen or therefore experienced a plane, planes don't exist. But as soon as one flies over, they do. And to be honest, in practice, this doesn't change much from rational thinking. You just don't truly say it exists without experience. So, I think a lot of people in common day life don't think much about anything that is commonly given to them. People don't ask that many questions, and I think this form of emotional thinking is a very good form of critique on that. I think this is also what Heidegger wanted to accomplish with his theory. Now, I would like to dive more towards another side of this because we only really talk about the experience side, but not of the existence side. These go hand in hand, but I want to discuss this. So, let's go. So, a rational thinker would say, well, I think, therefore I am. But nah, that's dumb because you have to be something before you can think. You'll have to have experience before you can think about a certain concept. So really, it's I experience, therefore I am. Or technically, I experience, therefore I think, therefore I am. Therefore I can fucking breathe, blah blah blah. Still, this asks the question, what truly counts as being? And I think if you want a good separation between rational thinking and emotional thinking, here it is. A rational thinker believes that thinking means you exist, and an emotional thinker believes that experiencing means that you exist. Now, you can fight me in the comments and see which one you think is better. But yeah, I'm very happy that I learned more about this certain form of emotional thinking. It's a very interesting way of thinking, and it's also a critique on how humans think about stuff and how common we take things without even experiencing stuff. I'm very interested in what you guys think, so let me know in the comments. But yeah, if you like this video, give a like. If you don't, then please don't do anything, please. And if you like this content and you haven't subscribed already, please do. Have a nice day.